Hi, all chess goodies, and welcome to day 9 of the journey to top 100 chess players in the world. So, yeah, let's see how it goes today. Yesterday, I got nice 2 wins, although the nice one was only the first one. The second one was won by me on time, but you know, it's a win as well. But you wanna win on the board. It feels better. But yeah, that was enough of the introduction. And let's play. So let's see when we get a pairing. Hopefully it will be soon. We'll see. And yeah, I should think of openings that I wanna play here. Yesterday I played d4 twice. I got white pieces in both games, and I went for d4, and it has turned out pretty good since I won both games. Hello and welcome here. Right now we have to wait to get a pairing. Hopefully we get that pairing soon. Like, you know, I always say this, that I could set the rating range lower than I have it currently. Yeah, I mean, at this level there are not as many players playing, and I have not a wide rating range, or like I cannot play that many. I cannot play opponents that are really lower rated than me. So yeah, I might change it soon to set it lower than I have it now, and then I should find quicker pairings. But now it seems like I got some connecting issues, so it's possible that the stream might get cancelled as well. Oh wow. Alright, hopefully it stayed. Definitely possible. Oh wow. That's so bad. My internet connection suddenly is really bad. So hopefully it will work. It might work now. Does it work? I'm not sure. Let's go for d6 line. That's quite tricky. Yeah, hopefully now it works. Hopefully now it works, but I see that. Alright, now it works, so that's fine. We get this line. Now rook g8. Yeah, I lost a lot of time here. Around 2 minutes because of the connection issues. But okay, now we are back, so I can play fast. So now rook g8 or h5. Let's play h5. Let's play h5 and get an attack against that white king. h4 coming in. I expect f4. There's the best move in this position, I think, if I remember. Maybe this king h1. I mean, it is super sharp, this line, but the h4 is possible as well. I know that for sure. But now maybe now I might want to play knight g4. I think I do want to play that. Yeah, that seems pretty good, because the g5 pawn is protected. I'm actually threatening to take on h4, because now the queen is protecting that pawn. So yeah, that would be fine. After your f4 should be impossible because of this, but also bishop could get on that diagonal, and the knight is pretty strongly placed there. ready for attack. Also e5 not possible, d5. My king is pretty safe there, chilling in the center. Yeah, it quite is. It is a really sideline of the 4-knight Scotch. It's a really aggressive line, but I quite enjoy playing it because not a lot of people know about that. And at the same time, yeah, you get a nice initiative as black and nice winning chances. So I think I can just recapture the pawn here. I hope there is no issue with that. But I don't see any issues with that right now. h4, h3, and I mean, this seems pretty good. Oh wow, what a move. Didn't see that one at all, but I'm not going to trade queens because my pawn structure is just worse, so I'm playing this one for the attack. I just don't know if queen g6, no, queen g6 not, so queen g7 should be fine. Just dropping back with the queen while keeping it on the nice semi-open g file, ready to potentially checkmate, you know, that would be nice. But yeah, h4, h3 looks just great. h4 also put the bishop back to c5 because on that diagonal the bishop would have much more aggressive diagonal there, combined with the power of the knight that sits there. Also like king d7, rook g8. What is the knight doing here? Maybe something is gonna come to f4. I see now. But I think, like, why not to just play h4? This looks pretty good. Then h3, on h3 I should expect g3. So it's not that impressive. So yeah, bishop f4, that was quite expected. Now drop the bishop back to c5. Yeah, I think so, to pin that pawn very nicely. So that keeps the knight in the attack. h3 is gonna come next, while the h-pawn also blockades the knight from coming to g3 at the moment, which is a good thing as well. Oh wow, okay, the bishop drops back. But like, if I take pawn takes, that's forced. Now the queen is quite out of the game. And I got a lot of attacking potential there. Yeah, I think I should take it with the bishop. The knight is really good there. h3 is gonna come, I would say. Yeah, let's trade. Let's take with the bishop. And now h3, is that good? g3, is it something? Maybe not as clear, but definitely a nice attacking position. But I feel like I need to bring the last piece into the attack. And that is, of course, the a8 rook. But it still is not as clear where to break through. I'll get my pieces lined up very nicely. But white will be in time to organize some defense somehow, probably. But the knight is not really doing that much things there, although it covers h3 and g2. So it is the best defending piece, definitely. So for example, I wanted to play this to capture on e3 while threatening checkmate, but it's not possible now. But h3 should be possible here. That's a thing that should be possible. Should be pretty good. I don't expect my opponent to capture. I actually expect pawn to g3. That's a thing that I expect to be played. But then I guess I'll simply drop back with the knight. Yeah, and I should be fine. Yeah, it is pretty intense. But at the moment, I'm the one who's attacking, which is great. And also, this pawn structure is as equal as mine. Oh wow, didn't expect the resignation now at all. Even though, let's wait just for a while what the engine says, and yeah, alright. Completely winning, actually. I don't think it was that clear, but it's true that it's not easy. Like g3 and yeah, knight e5 was my plan. Now, like, there is no good way to defend that pawn. Oh yeah, I mean, it is quite crashing, but I would probably play a couple more moves as white. But yeah, okay, that was very nice first game, so let's play one more. At least one more. We might play two more games. But let's stay with one more for the moment and decide afterwards. And again, we gotta wait for that pairing because I still have that waiting range quite small, so yeah, if I cannot find a pairing for a while, I would set it lower, but alright, we have a pairing, and since yesterday I got 2 wins with d4, let's do it now. Yeah, it actually, that line actually is a theory, but you won't find it, like, it's not difficult to find theory on that. But it's actually a line. It's called Verwin line, I think. Alright, but I should also focus on the current game. Would be great. And yeah, it is line, as I said. And okay, let's see. So in this game, we get a Benoni defense. And to be honest, I don't really know how this is played. But I think here, I can even take that with the queen. Because, like, there is no knight f6, and now the d6 pawn is pretty weak. Okay, knight comes out, so maybe this is a possibility. I don't know, but... Okay, bishop d2. Nah, knight f3 looks more natural to develop that piece first. Knight b5 maybe as an option, but alright, that's not happening here. So maybe a3, bishop d2. I don't know whether I want to put that bishop on d2, because there definitely are better squares. But it should be just safe. Although bishop e6 is coming now. Let's watch out for that, because that's probably a real thing. So just a4 maybe. Yeah, a4, and in case of bishop e6, I can choose, well, to put my queen maybe back to d1. Because to d3, then maybe knight b5, after that bishop e6. And I don't want to block my dark squared bishop. So yeah, to d1 most likely. Alright, but bishop e6 doesn't happen on this move. So I guess I should develop the light squared bishop now. And then castle. That's the plan now. And this pawn is just a target. Now I just have to develop first, consolidate, get the king to safety, and then I can hopefully start creating pressure against that pawn. The one thing that I see might be black's idea. Alright, first we see this, so I'll just drop back to d1 as planned. But I think bishop f6 is planned and play it against that d4 square. Alright, so apparently not. Apparently the plan is slightly different to play against that c4 pawn. Now if I take, then we got a completely symmetrical pawn structure. And I don't really have anything out of the opening. Actually, if I do that and play bishop e3, then we have a completely symmetrical position, but black gets the move, so we would basically switch colors, which I don't want to happen. So I think b3 should be okay. Just defend that c4 pawn. Alright, this was expected. And I would like to play bishop b2, but then this is a problem. That would actually win a piece, so bishop b1 is necessary here. Oh wow, actually, I see some tactical issues. I see tactical issues here, yeah, there are. That's not good. I would like to play queen d2 to defend the a2 pawn, but then it would run into this. So bishop to d2 is actually necessary here. And I'm dropping the a2 pawn. But it's not the end of the world. It's not. I'll get the king to safety first. Also the d6 pawn is still pretty weak. Even though the bishop is defending or covering the a1 square at the moment, it also is not impossible to maybe get a tempi against that queen in the future. So alright, down a pawn, but definitely a playable position still. Some compensation for it. But I don't like the tension here of the knights. I don't. So let's maybe do something with it, although this doesn't look too promising. And I don't want to take that knight either. But maybe moving this bishop might be good. Probably. Huh. To f4 or to e3? Let's move it to f4. To put more pressure against that d6 pawn. So now this is a threat, but I guess it will be covered by the rooks. By one of the rook. I still cannot think like rook e1 because of the fact that that is with check. Alright, but my opponent just goes back and covers the pawn with the queen, which is quite a smart way of doing that. So okay, still there's this annoying tension, and the thing is that I just do not want to take that, and at the same time I do not really want to move it. Maybe knight g5 though, going after that bishop. Huh. Yeah, I want to play rook e1 at least, but it's not so easy to play it because of that bishop on f6. Pretty tough spot to find out what to play. But honestly, I feel like at some point it's gonna be almost required to take that knight. But at the moment, I'll go for queen c2, getting the rook to d1 actually first. and only then try to do something about this annoying thing that is going on in the center. So yeah, okay, queen c6. So my opponent is trying to get the queen back. This one is defended by the queen, so I'll just bring the rook to the best file possible, which is the d file here. Because the file is a semi-open or d file against that weak d6 pawn, and if I ever decide to trade, then it will become an open file, and that's exactly where the pawns belong. My opponent decides to trade. Now I can choose. I can take it with the bishop, or I could take it with the pawn, but now with the... Oh wow. I'm not sure what was behind that. Okay, so alright, this was the idea. Bishop e5. Now I see it. Now I see it. That was probably the only move in that position. And I definitely do not want to trade, because then I have definitely a bad bishop. Yeah. So I feel like I'm sort of forced to drop back to e3. But now the bishop there is pretty great. I think I'll go for f4. Maybe even f5, but I'm not so sure about it. I would go f4 first and get the bishop back to f3. That's the plan right now, so maybe e5 possible then. b5 is coming, it seems, but after b5, I guess I would just leave it there as it is. Also, my idea is f4, but f5 is also possible to be played by my opponent. But if f5, I will go for f4. I will strike first and get a threat against the bishop. So maybe my opponent expects that f4 to be played, so creates room for the bishop. Yep, there it is. f5 is possible. Maybe we get a trade, not like that. f6. Yeah, I would like to get f6, but okay. Let's play bishop f3 for now. And let's see. I might wanna get a trade of the bishops. I wonder where. But also maybe just double up on the d file. Huh. Some options. I got 2.5 minutes, so let's just go for something. Although I see immediately that this was not the best thing to do. Bishop d4 possible now, even though I can still just move it with the king to corner. But yeah, b5 comes. Okay, I can go here, go to c3 now. The pawn is not hanging, which is fine. Though I said I do not want to trade the dark squared bishops, because for the endgame, I have most of the important pawns on the light square at the moment, and most importantly, the c pawn that I have is on the light square, and the c pawn that my opponent has is on the dark square. So okay, maybe for an endgame it could be quite bad. Actually, for the middle game, I don't think it's that bad. I'll just double up on d file now and put pressure against that weak d6 pawn. I just have to create as much pressure as I can against that d6 pawn. That is the big target here, because yeah, pushing the a pawn that my opponent is up to a4 and then even more down the board is the main plan of my opponent. Oh wow, and my opponent defends does this nicely. Okay. Can I play f5? Is it good? It could be. Let's go for it. Yeah, and my opponent just drops back. I'll just leave it there as it is. Alright, that's not good. Getting really down on the clock. So I just gotta go for something, maybe. Alright, f6, then I expect that to come. So I'll take on g6 now. Now my pawn here is also really weak. Guess I'll do this and try to create more pressure. a4 could come now, but it probably won't. Alright, let's go here now. Just create as much pressure there as possible, even though it is still defendable, and that's like really annoying thing. I have no way of creating more pressure. Okay. I think I can take. I'll take there. Next. Okay, this will be pretty interesting endgame. But probably not the best endgame. Yeah, I have to go for this. I have to give up my bishop. There's no way. There is no way. I wanted to play rook b6, that would be great, but then the pawns would be on the same file. My opponent would queen first. And okay, now there's really... Yeah, this is not just losing down a piece. That's a bad thing. Let's go there. Maybe we can get that trade, probably. Still with more time, you can play this and you have some chances of drawing this game, because there are not that many pawns left. But yeah, with me having just 30 seconds, it's really unlikely. Okay, let's go here. Maybe we see c2. Then a7 though. Okay, so if I get a loss here, then I'll be back where I started today. So it won't be the worst day. I actually, since I started this journey, I already have 2 days where I got 3 losses in one day, which is not a good thing. Oh, come on, and now I mouse slipped, so okay. That is just resignation on the spot. I just wanted to take that pawn, but I mouse slipped. So okay, I'm back where I started. So let's go for one more game. Let's go for one more game today. I wanna win. But there's always a possibility of losing. Alright, and we are playing the same opponent now. I will play d5 now. And let's see. I'll go for the normal Queen's Gambit declined now. Okay. Knight here. And then I can play c5 as well. But I won't do that. I'll just stick with bishop e7. Castle. And I think that only now you are supposed to take on c4 after the bishop wasted a tempo. Now, is pawn to c5 possible? I think it's gotta be. It should always be an option. Now I'll develop the knight and then maybe trade on d4. Also, I'll go for a3 and b5 to get the bishop to this very nice long diagonal. Alright, so my opponent is trying to stop that, understandably. So, what am I gonna do? I think I'll take on d4 now. Okay, my opponent takes with the pawn, so now we get an imbalance in the position. Where my opponent has got an isolated d-pawn, which is a pawn that is taking space in the center, but at the same time it is vulnerable because it doesn't have a good friend around itself. Okay, so where do I place that bishop? I think that I gotta put it on that diagonal anyway, even though I cannot play b5 that nicely. I'll just play b6 and then put the bishop there. And it should be fine. But yeah, white's got the activity. I got the long-term potential pressure against that pawn. The pawn is nicely blockaded with the knight, which is a typical idea in the structure that you wanna blockade an isolated pawn with a knight, because knights are the best blockaders, generally speaking. Maybe bishop f6 also possible. It is an idea to put more pressure against that pawn. And also against the diagonal. Because the rook is still on a1. Will probably move. But when I sometimes play this pawn structure as white, and when the knight is on d5, then I usually struggle to bring the dark squared bishop into the game because, well, take a look. White would definitely like to develop that bishop. But, okay, I'll first react to that move. So I think there is nothing too serious happening. I guess there are some tactics like that, where maybe the bishop would be hanging, but no. But I think rook e8 is just a fine move anyway. But yeah, what I was saying about that dark squared bishop is it cannot move here, here, and there is the knight controlling it. So that's a big problem. And quite a lot of lines. Bishop drops back here, so I might be able to attack it at some point. But I think I'll just go for bishop f6 now to attack that d pawn. So now my opponent actually might defend with the bishop to e3 to give me the bishop pair in return of defending that pawn, but no. Okay, queen e4. So this is not a checkmate threat, but it would not be pleasant to face. So I guess I should react. I don't see a different plan. Oh wow, I've just realized a big problem. Oh come on, I realized that I'm losing here. I go for g6, but then my opponent will take here. I take, and there's a big issue on the last rank. So that changes everything. So I think I actually have to give up that h7 pawn and get my king to center in order to not lose a rook. Oh wow, that was pretty bad. Didn't see this one coming. So okay. I think I'll just play bishop b7, then this. I get the king here. Queen has to draw back. And we are playing somehow. So let's see. Yeah, king f8. So I'm gonna be down a pawn with the king in the center. Not great, but at least we are still playing. Because yeah, in that line after g6, I would defend that h7 pawn, but at least a piece. But if I would take back, then even a rook would drop off, and that would be just game over immediately. So yeah, queen e4 was actually a pretty nice double attack. Oh wow. But now, I'm not sure whether white wants to give that check. No, he does not. And like, what is that? Like, this is just giving me a free piece. Like, why? I mean, I will take that. I will. But I just... Oh wow, this is the idea. Oh, wow. Alright, should have probably thought about it a bit more and not be like, oh wow, my opponent gave me a free knight. So yeah, alright, there was an idea, obviously. I just thought that my opponent blundered that, and that was it. And didn't think that much about it. Yeah, I mean, this check is obvious, and that was a nice move, a nice trap that I fell for. So, okay. Is there even an option? Is there even a move to do? No, there isn't. There's just time to resign. That was a pretty nice trap that I fell for. But yeah, even in this position, yeah, it is just winning for white. I just helped him with this being mate in 4. So, okay. Wanted to go for that third game. Wanted to get a win, and yeah, this bishop f6 was pretty bad. Because of that queen e4 in this position, just knight back to f6, and it's pretty fine position, really equal. Okay, so yeah, I guess that's it for today.